Hey, welcome back. You are looking at the qt50 Yamaha qt50 stator, which is the culprit in many a no spark situation or a weak spark situation. Now, I've already installed a Pw50 charge coil right here. But I just wanted to I'm going to undo it so you can understand how to install this. So it's held on by a couple screws here. One. And two. Got it. Now you also notice that we've got this connection here. I believe that's the ground connection. Let's just see. Yes, so I made that connection with the solder, but I'm going to, and this is the same thing you should do when you undo this thing, is cut this connection so you've got, cut it at this end instead of up here, so you can easily resolder this later. So anyways, okay, so you'll notice I had it like this. Now when you get a Pw50 stator, this Pw50 charge coil is going to be connected. This wire's blocking me. Going to be connected the other way, so that the ground, in the light here, so that the ground is over here. So all you have to do is take off your qt50 charge coil, take the Pw50 charge coil and flip it, screw it down, and then since you've cut this with plenty of slack, solder that to the ground connection. Alright, hopefully that was clear. Let me see something a minute. If not, I'll go over it one more time. Oops. And bring it even, can we get it even closer to the camera? For an extreme close-up view without things falling down. Alright, how's that? Is that even better? Don't hit it. Don't hit it. Don't hit the tripod. Alright, so let's go back. So, on your Pw50 stator that you bought for 15 bucks, because that's much cheaper than buying this Yamaha charge coil separately, it will be mounted like this so that the ground connection is over here, but you want it to be over here when it's mounted to the qt50 stator. So you just flip it upside down, and then you connect this ground via solder to the ground over here. It's that easy. Then the last thing you need to do is undo this screw, find your, you can see I did it here, find your black and red wire, because that goes to the charge coil, and I've taped over it, but solder it together here. And then on this end, here's your black and red wire. So undo this clip so you can get to this wire easier. This is just a retaining clip. and then make the connection, solder it up, and then electrical tape or however you want to do it there. So there you go. That is the qt50 stator fix. Okay? Now you know. And there's your dinner. Hey, but hey, how about some bonus stuff? Bonus stuff is always good. We'll put our screw. Oh man. We'll try to put our screws and our stator away for the time being. And give me just a second. And we'll show you more good stuff. Show and tell. So there is a Pw50 ring gear. Now you might not be able to tell unless you have a very discerning eye, but here's the Pw50 axle. It is longer than a qt50 axle. This comes off the rear differential. So basically I put this in the press and press this axle out of the gear and then press in a shorter qt50 axle. Now the Pw50 gear gives you about a 10% top speed increase and lowers your RPMs at slower speeds. So you can do 30 miles an hour at a lower RPM than you could with the qt50 gear. Now the other component of this equation is right here. This is the pinion gear, and this is the Pw50 pinion gear. So you take this out of the rear differential and swap it with the qt50 pinion gear because the ring and pinion gear go together. So that's essentially what's involved in that. I'm just waiting to get some qt50 gears to do that swap. I was thinking of something else. What else do we have to show? Anything? I'm drawing a blank here. I had something else, but I've forgotten what else we could do or say. Is there anything else I wanted to say about the qt50 Pw50 ring and gear swap? No, I think that's about it. But it's relatively simple. I have a 12-ton press, and combine that with a little heat, and you're able to press them in and out no problem. So that's nice to be able to do that. And if you want that done, let me know. Just send me your qt50 differential. The differential is the rear part of the shaft drive that connects to the very back, the rear tire there. I guess one more thing real quickly. If you'll bear with me, I can get it out. Just take me a second. I hope this isn't too big, but I received this case. Seems bigger than I expected, which could be a problem, but we'll find out real quickly. No, I think that'll work. So we got, I think this is the one I need because this looks to be a bit big. But we got a crank bearing removal tool. Let's see if I've got that crank handy. I should. There it is. So I took this crank out of a Honda Express, and one of the bearings stayed on the crank. As you can see there, we need to remove that so we can replace it. Anyways, this would be the beginning. There's more to this tool, but this is the main component. Although some of them are just this component only. So you fit it and it slides under that bearing and basically pushes the bearing out of the crank. So there's obviously there's a lot more to it than what I've done so far, but I'm rebuilding an engine and I thought I would replace the crankshaft bearings. So I bought this tool to do that and put new bearings in. So we're stripping it down to the bare essence. Like for example, well, here's one of the case halves. And I'm not seeing it right away, but oh, here it is. Here's the second part of the case half. Pretty much cleaned up and ready to go. So once I get that off, I can put the new bearings on, and won't that just be stupendous? And it is, unless you can find new old stock, I don't think you can get a new Honda Express crank out there anywhere. This bearing feels kind of rough. Probably should be a lot smoother than that, but that'll be a nice little project, which I'll try later today. So I guess that's enough of show and tell. We will talk to you later. Good luck with your qt50 stator charge coil repairs.